A ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
I've watched this trend continue to grow and become more popular over the past several weeks. Now, despite myself having literally dozens of stories that I could share, I never really considered making a post myself. That is until I came across a upload by a user, Tiff's Ghost Talk. Now, the thing about Tiff's story that caught my attention is the fact that I believe that we may have experienced the same sort of entity. So I'm going to share my experience. Tiff, I'm going to tag you down below, and you tell me what you think. Now, my tale begins in the late 1970s. Again, I grew up in a home that was owned by my grandparents. It was a three-story colonial built in the mid-1920s. Grandparents lived there, I lived there, my mom lived there, my uncle. Eventually, my little sister came along, and all of us have tales that we could tell. This particular story happened when my uncle was away at college. My mom was off living her best life. I don't even know what the heck she was doing. So it was just my grandparents and myself. It was during the fall, so the sun went down early, rose late. This particular evening, I was, it's like one of those time for bed. So, put away the comic books, lay yourself down. You have school tomorrow, and everybody's going to sleep. So they go to bed, and I go to bed. Now, to give you an idea of my experience, I have to give you the layout of the house. Now, when you walk through the front door, directly to your right would be the living room. The living room spanned from the front of the house to the back. Directly to your left would be the dining room. The dining room led into the kitchen through one of those old-timey swinging doors. And if you face straight ahead, you would hit the stairs about, 6 paces in front of you. You can go up the stairs, about 11 stairs, hit a landing, sharp left, then you're on the second floor. If you continue to go forward, there was a hallway between the dining room and kitchen and the staircase that would lead straight from the front door to the back door. So if you just wanted to run straight through the house, you could. Halfway through, underneath the stairs leading to the second floor, was a little niche. And that nook had the coat closet, but also the door to get to the basement. So that's important. Now, during this night, after I was told it was lights out, I'm laying there, and I couldn't go to sleep. Didn't dare turn the lights on because my bedroom was directly across the hall from my grandparents. Their lights are out, my lights are out. My bed is against the wall in the corner where the foot of my bed faced the doorway out into the hall. The foot of their bed was against the far wall, and it also faced the doorway out to the hall. Not very feng shui, I know, but, that's the layout. I think it had to be roughly about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I hear the door to the basement open. Now, I know no one else is in the house. I know my grandparents aren't up because I didn't hear anybody get up or go downstairs. Now, in my child's mind, I'm like, all right, well, maybe somebody went down there to do laundry, something, and they didn't close the door properly. Door clicked open. Fine. But eventually, I begin to hear it open wider. And then I begin to hear footsteps coming down the hall from that nook leading to the front of the house and the foot of the stairs leading to the second floor. Now, the steps were very painfully slow. Now, you could think that, if it's a burglar, they're kind of tiptoeing and moving slowly. But, for whatever reason, I'm just hearing this and I'm like, what am I hearing? Didn't know what to do. I'm just laying there and I'm listening to the sound of creaking floorboards as this, whatever it is moving to the front of the house, foot of the stairs. Then I hear the first footstep on the stair. And then I hear the second. Again, this thing is moving so slow. It's got to be 5 minutes between each footstep. Now, my mind might be exaggerating because, when you're hearing things and you're young and time becomes kind of wibbly wobbly. But I swear that each footstep, each creak of the stair, there's got to be a 5-minute interval in between. And I hear this thing slowly come up the stairs. I hear it get to the landing and pause. And then I hear it go up the last few stairs and get to the top of the stairs at the end of the hall. Now I'm just laying there and I'm petrified. I don't know what to do. I didn't hop up and say, hey, there's somebody in the house. I didn't scream. I'm just petrified. And then after what seemed to be another 10 minutes, the footsteps started coming down the hall towards my bedroom and my grandparents' bedroom. So at this point, I throw the covers over my head. I'm just hyperventilating. I'm breathing, and but I could still hear this thing coming down the hall to the end of the hall, front of the house, end of the hall, and I hear it stop between the two bedrooms. Then I hear it come into my bedroom. And this time it was moving more quickly, more purpose. Because I'm like, this thing knows whatever this is, whoever this is, it knows I'm awake. And it knows that I know it's there. And I am just hyperventilating. So I feel it, hear it, walk to the side of the bed. And I turn myself towards the wall. Because again, headboard is against the wall. Right hand side of the bed is against the wall. Foot of the bed leading out to living room, leading out to the bedroom and towards the door. And I'm laying there and I don't hear anything. And I'm like, I gotta look. I don't know what told me I had to look, but it's like, I have to look. And I didn't just pull the covers down. I kind of lifted the covers up a couple of inches just to peek out. And when I did, swear before all that's holy, a couple of feet away is a face staring right at me where I lifted up the covers. And this face, oily black, yellow eyes, wide smile, something that you would see out of any cliche horror movie, but I swear this is what this thing looked like. Skin oily but looked dry. And as I described it when Tiff was trying to, put words to what she saw, like a dried patent leather shoe. And this thing is just staring at me. And I'm just staring at it. And that's when the paralysis left my body. I pop up. I sit straight up in bed. I don't even know how I did the motion. I got up in bed. I vaulted over the footboard, out the door, straight into my grandparents' room, jumped in their bed. And I'm like, there's something in my room. There's something in my room. And I got the good old fashioned, it's nothing in your room. Shut up. You have school tomorrow. We have work tomorrow. Lay your butt down and be quiet. I get in between my grandfather and my grandmother, and I'm laying there. Now, eventually, my grandfather gets up to go to work. He got up for work at like 4:30 in the morning. He gets up, goes about his business, goes downstairs. I hear him leave the house. Now, I'm still awake, and I'm still staring out in the hall. Everything's dark. He doesn't turn on any lights. What the hell was that about? And then eventually my grandmother gets up and she gives me what the old, I don't care that you didn't sleep last night. You need to get your butt up and take your butt to school. I don't want to get any calls from the school that you didn't show up. Then I'm going to work. Bye. And she gets herself ready and she goes downstairs. And I'm hearing her tool around and I'm still looking out the door directly into my bedroom. And I swear as soon as she closed the door, I hear a roar. Shook my bones. Swear it shook the house. And again, I pop up. I vault over the end of their bed. I run into the hall towards my room. Make the immediate right turn. Down the stairs. Through the dining room. Into the kitchen. I go into the kitchen. Because I'm like, that's the only place I can go that I know has a lot of light. And I can see whatever's coming is coming. And I sit in the corner of the kitchen. I turn on the lights. I turn up the little black and white TV that sat on the counter as loud as I could. And I just sat there till sunrise. And I sat there and then nothing else happened. And then I got myself ready and went to school. Because I didn't want to get a whooping for not going to school. And that's my story. But whatever this thing was, again, malice, like you wouldn't believe. I think that it moved slowly from the very beginning because it knew that I knew, and it moved the way it moved just to torture me. But that's just me. So, Tiff, let me know what you think. Anybody else who's had an experience, give me your feedback.